Voters in Troup are making an important decision tonight whether to approve a multi-million-dollar bond that would bring big upgrades to local schools. CBS 19's Ayanna Air joins us now live in Troup with how parents are encouraging voters to head to the polls. Ayanna.
Yeah, Brendan, well, I've been out here for hours, and earlier today, parents got together and were serving hot dogs, chips, snacks, all to encourage people to come out and vote. And all these parents were in favor of the Troup ISD bond, and it's one of the biggest items on the ballot today. The $22 million Troup ISD bond is aimed at funding upgrades to the high school and elementary, and the high school would get a new science and CTE classroom plus a new gymnasium. The elementary will also get new classrooms and upgrades to the cafeteria and more. Now, if approved, the bond would raise the district's tax rate from 83 cents to $1.12 per $100 of property value. This is the first bond proposal in 5 years, and one parent says he's all for anything that supports the students, especially since he has kids in the district.
It's just a real big need here in Troup. There's a lot of needs at the elementary and at the high school. Just trying to create a better future for the kids. It's our civic duty and our right to come out here and vote and support the bond or don't support the bond. I mean, there's many other things to vote for.
Earlier this year, Superintendent Tammy Jones said she believes the students of Troup ISD are worthy of the investment for today and the future. Now, there's just about an hour, a little under an hour left for people to come out here in Troup and vote for the bond election and also other things that are on the ballot. Back to you, Brendan.
All righty, Ayanna Air, thank you. Turning now to Nacogdoches County, voters have just 1 hour left to cast their vote, as Ayanna just mentioned. One of the items on this election day, a $75 million proposal to build a new county jail facility. CBS 19's Nayeli Carrillo is back in the studio with us with what this new facility would mean, not just for inmates, but also residents. Nayeli.
Brennan, we're told the current Nacogdoches County Jail, built more than 35 years ago, was designed to hold around 300 inmates. The newly proposed facility would almost double that capacity to address overcrowding. The sheriff tells me nearly 100 inmates are being held in other counties, and that alone is costing taxpayers about $1.5 million each year. If the proposition passes tonight, it would cost Nacogdoches County homeowners about $7.50 per month per $100,000 of home value, or roughly $90 a year. One resident says she supports the plan, calling it a small price to pay for improved safety and working conditions for county staff.
I think that we do need to have a bigger jailhouse. I think that it needs more staff. I think that it's important that we support them and that we do what we can to make sure that, our needs are met as far as safety.
The bond would fund the construction of a modern jail design capable of holding up to 570 inmates with a focus on mental health and medical facilities. Right now, there are 19 polling locations open across the county, all set to close within the hour. Once the votes are counted, we'll let you know whether Nacogdoches County will move forward with a new jail facility on air and online on CBS19.tv. In studio, I'm Nayeli Carrillo.
Nayeli, thank you. And as we continue our Election Day coverage, let's head on over to Longview as East Texans show out to the polls to vote on a series of local and state constitutional amendments. Robert De La Garza takes us inside to see what turnout has looked like so far.
Thousands of voters raced to the polls in Gregg County on Election Day, but even as crowds began to build, turnout is lagging.
Anytime there's a constitutional amendment election, people are not on the ballot. Our voters just typically don't turn out to vote as much.
Just last year, during the 2024 presidential election, turnout reached nearly 65%, but so far.
So for early voting, we had about a 4% turnout, which is low compared to other elections. As of noon today, we've had 2,000 voters so far.
With light crowds walking in to vote felt more like a walk in the park.
It took all of maybe less than 10 minutes. It wasn't super crowded in there, and the line was fast-paced. It was very smooth, in and out.
From second-time voters building new traditions.
Yeah, so last year was actually my first year voting. My family grew up very strongly opinionated in regards to politics and how important it is and how it influences day-to-day life. And that's kind of what influenced me to come here today to make my vote.
To lifelong voters continuing theirs.
I've been voting since I was eligible to vote. Every year, whenever something comes out, I keep up with what's going on. and I'm able to make the right decision that I feel is best.
And for Maria Rita Williamson, who became a U.S. citizen nearly 20 years ago.
I've been voting since I became an American citizen in 2008.
Casting her ballot is about shaping the community and country she calls home.
Voting is essential for anyone, and I think it is a privilege to be able to vote, and so why not doing it?
But no matter the age or where you're from, every voter today had the same goal: to make their voice count.
No matter how small the influence, it's an influence, and it can affect your day-to-day and the quality of life.
May not be a record turnout, but voters say every ballot still matters. Reporting in Longview, Robert De La Garza, CBS 19.
Well, branching out to Texas props on your ballot, let's talk more about state constitutional amendments. There are 17 races, so we just don't have that much time to touch on all of them, but there are 3 of the big ones to know. Number 1, Prop 4 would set aside more money for the Texas Water Fund to pay for water projects around the state for the next 20 years. Supporters say it would fund vital efforts to find newly water supply and fix aging infrastructure as water demand ramps up and Texas sees more frequent and severe drought. There's been very little public opposition to that prop. Number 2, Props 11 and 13 deal with property tax relief. 11 increases the additional exemption for seniors and disabled Texans from $10,000 to $60,000, and 13 increases all homestead exemptions from $100,000 to $140,000. And number 3, a more controversial item on the ballot is Prop 16. It would amend the state constitution to explicitly state that a person has to be a U.S. citizen to vote. That's already banned under state law. So some opponents say it's unnecessary. Supporters say it'll make that rule even clearer.